Cancer, hey, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. Happy day, Cancer. We are officially in Gemini season. Started off the new week with a new moon in Gemini. New moons are a really good time to set new intentions or make adjustments to the things that aren't working. And Gemini energy is a lot about communication, daily activity, the people, places, and things that we're seeing day in and day out, and how that communication is flowing. There's definitely, that's been relationships have been highlighted in general over the past few months as we're making a lot of changes, as spirit, universe, God, however you understand it, has really been highlighting those places where there are disconnects, where maybe a situation or a person isn't really there for our highest and best, or it's just not working anymore. And we need to make adjustments accordingly. And as we're understanding more of who and what that is, Gemini season brings us the opportunity to open up our doors a little bit more. Where there has been a lot of stagnancy, i.e. not a lot of forward movement, we're not seeing things play out as much as we would want them to. It's forcing us to be patient, I should say. Be patient in the process. If we're not, it can definitely come back to bite us in the butt. So that's why I like to start off with these energy cleansings, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any of those blocks, obstacles we might be coming into. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well for the reading, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you would like me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, etc., or if you are just looking for more of a realignment of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are operating from that space of wellness, when we know ourselves, when we're loving ourselves and giving to ourselves, that's where we're manifesting happiness, abundance, fulfillment from, right? Not when we're disconnected, not when, we're choosing the quick fixes. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Or, maybe for a period of time it does. But regardless, I would love to help support in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, Cancer, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, Mama Love. This is all wild, sorry. Mama Love. Amen. All right, Cancer. Well, you feel like you're in good spirits this week. I could hear you laughing. I don't know. Laughing at the irony. That's what I'm hearing. The irony of someone, of how someone acts and behaves, or what the reality of a situation is with a person that I don't know, it's disappointing. It's maybe when you're so stunned, all you can do is laugh about it, right? Because it almost seems unbelievable is what I'm hearing. You just can't believe it, right? Ooh, so something's, okay, so maybe you're gambling with something this week. Maybe someone is acting ridiculous, behaving ridiculous, so it's giving you an open door is maybe a better way to say it, to call them out a little bit on their BS. Or I don't know, you're rolling the dice, you're taking the chances. I don't necessarily get that and everyone's situation is going to be different, but it looks like you took a risk. It looks like you took a risk or are planning on taking a risk. There is someone that you're expecting loyalty from. And I don't know, maybe this is the ridiculous person, because I'm not sure that you're getting it. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm feeling like this gamble, this risk is to call someone out. Yeah, 100%. Sorry. I don't really look at the cards when I hold them up. 100% with this gold digger in your energy. It's someone who is using you, and you know this, and maybe that's why it's so ridiculous. Maybe you don't have money. Maybe they're just using you for other things, but it definitely has this usury vibe to it. And I feel like this is someone that like you kind of have known this, or it's been in the back of your mind. And I feel like you're ready to hold them accountable to some capacity. It doesn't feel like this is overt, like you're actually like, you know, calling them out to their face. You suck, you did this, blah, blah, blah. I don't get that energy. I feel like this is like in a little bit more of a strategic way where you're putting your toe in the water. You know, you're kind of throwing different conversations at them, seeing what sticks, seeing how they react, seeing how they respond. Maybe someone, for some of you, like gives more loyalty to the pets than they give to you, or they're nicer is what I'm hearing. Like this is just someone who like, okay, they have the star in their energy. Okay, right? Like this is someone who's healing, but it's making you emotional for some reason. It's because here's the thing, like the star energy, it's a positive energy. It's positive reinforcement. It's like saying, hey, we're on the right path, etc. But also when people are trying to unlearn things, they still have natural reactions, habits, patterns to go back to that thing. And that's really what it feels like for you, Cancer. It feels like you've been dealing with someone who just isn't giving you a certain level of respect or understanding. Yeah, 100%. The way that they communicate, the things that they communicate, it feels very selfish. It feels very self-centered. It makes you emotional. I mean, here's the thing. You're coming through as the King of Cups, which is you being in your energy, in your power. But I'm also seeing that like this can make you incredibly emotional in a way that feels like, is it worth it? Like, is it worth it? And especially when you know what the motivation is. I feel like you know what the motivation is. Maybe it's hard to admit it to yourself because on some level, well, this person is giving themselves way more credit than what they deserve, essentially. And they're trying to convince you of that. You're not so convinced, though, because it kind of looks like you're tired. It looks like you've been dealing with this for a long time. It looks like this feels overwhelming. And then when you just have someone being completely unempathetic, it's like, well, what's the point, right? Like, why am I even doing this? And if anything, you have been very supportive and nurturing. And in this way where like you have given them some amount of loyalty, but your loyalty has not really gotten you anywhere. You're trying, and I'm even hearing for some of you, like this week, maybe you're even trying to like implement a new strategy or a new approach, how you can kind of get these things back on board. You know that things are heading in a certain direction. You know that change is afoot, change is on the horizon. I think there's a part of you that's really hoping it doesn't go south. And maybe you'll hold on to it for some time, right? Because to me, it looks like this person needs you more. Yeah, I mean, you probably love them or you want them in your life or it serves a purpose on some level. But I feel like they're more dependent on you than you are on them. Like, yeah, maybe there's certain things, again, that they offer, but it's... yeah, change. I mean, you can't really avoid it. You can't really avoid it because what I do feel like that ridiculousness that I was picking up from you in the beginning, like just kind of laughing about like how ridiculous is this person being, like it's almost like you can't believe it, right? They're an adult, you're an adult, and they're not acting like one is what I'm hearing. And you can't avoid it. Like at some point, it's gonna give. And that's what it looks like. And I don't know, this is a really interesting energy, Cancer, because it looks like both people are holding on, but both people want to let go. I understand that letting go is a really hard decision to make. At what point do you say something's over and done with? But I think that that's where this gambling energy is really going to work out in your favor this week. If you do not do things differently, but just kind of, again, like ask some question. Oh, what do you think about that? Or how does that make you feel? You know, just kind of ask some questions, getting that gauge, right? That gauge, or maybe challenging them a little bit, poking a little bit of fun, not in a mean way, but just in a way to see, like, you know, you can just tell when someone's being too serious about something and they have that energy. It's a little bit of a woe is me. It's like, why don't you understand what I'm going through? It's, again, it's very, very selfish. And because you're naturally a lover, a nurturer, etc., it's easy for you to fall into this trap. But like I said, this is only going to go on for so long. And I feel like some of the stuff that comes out this week is definitely shedding light on what it is. The only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus from the problem back to love. And that totally helps, 100%. It's good to not focus on the problems. It's good to focus on the assets and what's working for you. We also need to be aware when something is no longer working. And there is a lot of energy of closure around this, Cancer. We have the World, we have the Move On card, we have the Six of Swords. There was another one too. I can't remember. But lots of endings on the board. So ending with love, you know, and I think I feel like this is a lot about just recognizing that there is a way to exit something that actually honors both people, both your heart and more specifically for your heart, right? So it doesn't have to be this knockdown, drag out war, you suck, whatever. Embrace your emotions. Don't push down your feelings or judge your emotions. Yeah, like you might be it might be hard to validate yourself in this situation as well because this person isn't really validating you or only themselves. But that's the thing. When we don't validate ourselves, when we're asking someone else to do it for us, that's where the anger comes. You know, we start getting pissed off at people. We start getting resentful because they're not doing X, Y, and Z. And while maybe you're justified in those expectations, this person is also showing up like they don't want to do it, right? They're focused more on their self with that star card. It's their own healing. It's their own stressors, etc. Practice compassion. See things from a different perspective. And I feel that. I agree with that. I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, it looks like you're hanging on to this for a minute. So you have time to do all these things, practice compassion, shift your perspective, you know, try to approach them with love. There's decisions on the table. It's not set in stone, right? It's not saying, well, if you do this, then they're going to do this, because there's already some resistance around them for some reason. Maybe you'll understand why that is. I'm hearing that you need some answers, and not trying to tell you to manipulate the situation. I'm not a proponent of that, but I do think it's good to get some answers. I think it's good to get some answers, insight as to where they stand. However you want to go about that, you know, is up to you. But I hope this helped. I hope that this helped. I hope you found messages that resonated here for you, Cancer. I know this was a little bit, well, it's an interesting energy, you know, more to be determined, more to be explored, I should say. But thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I super appreciate you. All you bring to the channel, just know it blesses my heart. Definitely drop comments below if it did resonate. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.